Yeah, so the Indian biopharmaceutical industry, right? It does have a very big role to play globally. We of course are a big country with a large population, but we also are a very important manufacturing base for the industry around the world, right? For many companies, both multinational and Indian. So we do see that the already, right, in the Indian market is the third in the world in terms of volume, and 14th in terms of value. And according to some of the published industry reports, our market size will reach about 65 billion US dollars in 2024 and about 130 billion by 2030. So that's a significant level of growth that we will see in the Indian biopharmaceutical industry. So there's a few drivers to that, right? So of course, one is that we are a young country, we have a growing population, and our healthcare spending is increasing as a percentage of the GDP of the country, right? Although it is still a very low percentage compared to many other countries, but it is increasing year by year. So that will definitely be one of the drivers of the growth of the industry. The other is the changing mindset and affordability of the growing middle class in the country, right? Although it is primarily still self-paid market, but the levels of insurance coverage are increasing. The number of conditions covered by insurance are increasing, and the disposable incomes are increasing. So that will also drive growth of the industry. And then non-communicable diseases, lifestyle type of diseases, that's bound to as increasing urbanization and so on. And then of course increased investments into India from multinational companies, foreign direct investments. So all of this is going to drive growth of the Indian biopharmaceutical industry. Yeah, I think when you talk about digital innovation, digitization, and tech innovation in this industry, right? I think it's a mix of different types of approaches, right, across the different parts of the business. I don't think that'll be like a one size fits all, but in general, I think that's become center stage, right? Right from the time of COVID-19, and even before that, I think the way we live, the way we work, this all been very highly influenced by the pandemic as well, right? The possibilities of what can be done virtually, how much can be digitized is all multiplied based on that experience that we all had. So the innovation overall across industries is accelerating, given the emergence of AI, emergence of newer technologies like extended and augmented reality, virtual reality, the metaverse. We can see that this is really affecting many industries, and especially healthcare is really at the eye of the storm in a way of innovation and technology right now, right? It is a very big strategic priority for companies in the industry around the world. Surveys that some of the consulting companies have conducted have shown that most of the organizations, and more than three quarters, are viewing digital innovation as a competitive differentiator. So that's something that is not just a nice to have, or not just something that's going to make life easier, but really going to impact the competitiveness of the company. Like, are they able to compete in the marketplace? Are they able to win in the marketplace? Are they able to expand, markets into market segments, and grow revenue? So all that's, I mean, digital innovation is going to become a prerequisite for a lot of those things. Um, and a lot of studies have shown that the people who are the companies and the leaders who are investing in enterprise technology and digitization are growing much faster. I think some studies say 2x faster, and some studies say up to 5x faster than the laggards, or the ones who are not investing, or they are just doing business as usual. So definitely there is a lot of evidence to show that this is going to be critical for not just IT departments or some parts of the company, but it's going to be critical for the CEOs. It's going to be critical for the board of directors to drive the right level of investment into digitization of their companies. Um, Now, the question you asked, is there a more piecemeal incremental approach, or should we, go all in and take kind of an enterprise approach? I think both are required. I think the innovation has to be everywhere in the company. So it can't just be a few departments or a few leaders driving it. It needs to be everyone. So that today, the democratization of digitization is going on, in my view, where we have the tools that almost every department, every function in the company, or even smaller teams and individuals can innovate and digitize the work they do, right? We have citizen development type of capabilities, we have workflow capabilities, visualization. All of these things are very easy to use, and a lot of democratization can happen across organizations. So that need to happen where there's a wave, just like there was a wave in Lean and Six Sigma, right, about 15 years ago, where every entity or group in the organization is empowered to simplify their processes and lean their processes. It'll be this is the same thing with digitization, right? Where we really need an enterprise sort of approach of involving everyone, right, to continuously improve, automate, and make more intelligent, more smarter the processes that they work on every single day. And also, there needs to be breakthrough sort of innovation at the enterprise level to say, what are some of those things that are going to differentiate us from our competition? Can we get our medicines to market, 2x faster than anybody else? And that's got to do with more, I think more involved and more deeper technologies, deep tech kind of innovation, which could virtualize drug development, for example, which could create digital twins, to really take very new approaches to how we develop drugs, how we manufacture drugs, smart factories, for example, how we commercialize our medicines, how we handle clinical trials. Some of these core processes could use much different approach to innovation, which is going to be high investment, which is going to be high intense, and deeper sort of application of technology in those segments. That's going to become a competitive differentiator. So you need both, in my view, to really be successful in the industry. Yeah, that's also a very interesting area. Very good question. Smart factory deployments, they are increasingly, I think, the way of the future, and I think that that's going to become a foundational consideration to be kind of in the game, even to do world-class manufacturing in the biopharmaceutical. So we have got an approach that we've been using is more of that building blocks approach to say, look, if we create some digital building blocks, then we'll be able to quickly assemble what's required at every stage of that manufacturing process, right? So you have sourcing and procurement, you have quality, you have actual, API production, you have tableting, and in the biopharma manufacturing, bio drugs or the large molecule drugs, you have that process as well, and then there's a distribution, all of that. So the smart factory building blocks that we've been investing are around the technologies such as IoT, around technologies like blockchain, around technology technologies like batch release kind of visualizations, operations technology versus information technology, right? Like the sensors and all of that that go into the actual manufacturing lines. And then visualization, a lot of visualization, because at the end of the day, that's the way to keep the entire factory aware of what's going on, right? If you can show real time, where things are, why, which batches are stuck, what are the reasons, where are the issues, being able to know that real time, and maybe even being able to be predictive in many things, like whether it be maintenance, whether it be understanding shortages before they actually happen. Um, all of this are very important kind of building blocks, which we can do. And also simulation is a very big tool that is increasingly being used. Is before we even commission a line, we are able to simulate the line, and we are able to simulate what are the choke points that might be there in that flow, right? And then how do we remove those the constraints so that the flow can be much more seamless. There's also the concept of continuous manufacturing now in the pharmaceutical industry, continuous API production, for example, or continuous bio manufacturing. So that requires a very different type of engineering of not just the lines and the processes, but also the technology around it. So there's a lot of change in there, and if you have the right building blocks, then we are able to, quickly assemble the right technologies required to support that type of smart manufacturing, and also continuously evolve that. One big thing that's not there maybe in the scene 10 years ago is the sustainability aspects of smart manufacturing, right? Or smart factories is how much solvent waste is being created. What is the energy consumption in these lines? What sorts of effluent reductions can we do? So all of those things are becoming a huge factor. And then this digital and smart factories are able to kind of manage their carbon footprint, not just their production and their quality, but also things like carbon footprint, almost integrated into the way they work, right? And that requires again a different approach, with energy monitoring, and with all of those self-healing type of technologies that need to be used to look at the sustainability piece of it. So yes, very interesting area, very interesting field. It's becoming a very essential aspect, especially for even the I would say the Indian, even I would think even the Indian manufacturing ecosystem, right? The fact that as they become more and more globalized, and they're playing in a more global market, and the lead times are reducing and the expectations are increasing, smart factories are going to be, I mean, the factories are going to have to get smarter and smarter for our ecosystem as well. Overall, if you look at the biopharmaceutical industry and our market, right, um, there's a massive change that we would expect to see in the industry. The shifting markets, the shifting health systems, the resilience of these health systems, all of this are undergoing a lot of change. The number and types of diseases we are treating are increasing, because I think there are some diseases that were undetected in the past that people are recognizing and detecting, some of the rarer diseases and so on. So identification, prevention, treatment, cure, all of those stages are undergoing a major transformation and a major shift. So one of the things what we definitely see is there's going to be more and more emphasis on prevention and early detection in the future, right? Versus cure. Right. So I think the whole industry is going to focus more and more on helping prevent many of these kind of diseases, through improvement in overall health, and also early detection, right? There's a lot of emphasis we place as a company, for example, on early detection of cancers and things like that. Because earlier you catch it, the more likely you can treat it successfully. And also there's less of a burden on the overall health system, right? Because ultimately it is the governments, the insurers, the patients who all need to who pay for everything in that health system. So prevention and early detection are going to be huge. I think there's a lot of investment going on into early detection of different types of cancers, for example, or even some of the rare diseases that are increasingly getting identified earlier in a child's life, for example, and so on. So that's really, really key. Personalization is another huge trend that we've all been speaking about a lot as we get genomic insights into, how each individual patient's genetic makeup is, what are the specific mutations and conditions that they may have, and then the therapies can get very individually customized towards those patients. So things like cell therapy and gene therapy are very, very personalized, right? It's almost one-to-one type of treatment. So we do see that um, uh, uh, increasingly evolving in this industry, the customized and personalized treatment, curative therapy. So instead of just kind of slowing down the disease, can we actually look at curing diseases like cancer, or eliminating such diseases. So that's a really bold sort of ways that we and many other companies are thinking is, can we eliminate cancer as a cause of death, right, for human beings. So that sort of bold ambitions we will definitely see, because the technologies, the sort of medicines on the market, the modalities are going to be very revolutionary as we go forward into the future. Um, Digitizing the therapeutic, digital health is going to be very big as well. Being able to conduct those clinical trials virtually, for example, or even have companion digital apps with medicines, so that we can help patients to have more adherence, to their drug regimen, and also being able to diagnose, their progress over time using digital technologies, rather than having them come every 6 months for a health checkup. That's too late sometimes. So how do you do that more frequently and in a more digital fashion? And also precision medicine, right? Like precision surgeries, nanotechnology. All of these will dramatically improve, on that side as well. So those are all some of the drivers, kind of factors that are driving this industry forward, and how will hopefully evolve more and more to increase access and affordability of medicines to patients around the world, but also be much more early in the cycle in terms of detection and prevention, detection of medicines and of diseases, and treating them much earlier in the life cycle, and personalization. So those are the big trends that I would definitely see in the coming years.